David Burke, also called D4VD, has just been charged with first-degree murder and is now facing the death penalty for allegedly murdering Celeste Rivas Hernandez. David was taken to jail just days ago, and reports are now coming out that his life is in danger. More and more evidence is coming out every day, and it looks like David might have had more than one victim.
Fallout continues for platinum-selling singer David, now in police custody, arrested yesterday by the LAPD in connection with a gruesome murder of a 14-year-old girl who went missing in 2024.
David's music label, Interscope Records, is already distancing themselves from the controversy. KTLA's Lindsay Pena is live in the Hollywood Hills, where the singer was arrested. Lindsay.
Yeah, Micah, the house where David was staying right before his arrest, relatively quiet today, and we're still not sure who might be inside. What we do know is that David is in custody, being held without bail until at least Monday. Singer David's arrest late Thursday afternoon captured by TMZ, the 21-year-old taken into custody at a home in the Hollywood Hills. The California Post also releasing this footage showing officers in tactical gear handcuffing David before putting him inside a patrol vehicle. The musician, whose full name is David Burke, has been on LAPD's radar as a suspect for months in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas, whose decomposing body was found in the trunk of David's Tesla last September. Although an investigative grand jury was convened in the case late last year, it never returned an indictment. At this point, it's unclear what finally prompted his arrest on suspicion of murder. KTLA legal analyst Allison Treasel.
New photos and video obtained by the California Post of the arrest of singer David on suspicion of murder. You can see officers swarming the Hollywood Hills with weapons drawn.
If you try to run, we have canine on premises and you will get bit.
I got you. All right, so the gate is locked. Do I open the gate? Sir? Open the gate.
Allegations of David being involved in the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez first came out last year, after her decomposing remains were found inside the front trunk of a Tesla, tied to musician David in Los Angeles, on September 8, 2025. Reports by prosecutors indicate that Celeste was 130 pounds when she went missing, and when the police found her, she was just 70 pounds. TMZ has also reported that Celeste's body had been dismembered, although there is speculation that the dismemberment was most likely due to the advanced stage of decomposition that she was found in.
Tonight, more than a week after a body was found inside an impounded Tesla registered to the singer who goes by the stage name David, Los Angeles investigators identifying the remains as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, the same girl who was reported missing last year, according to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. Police first found the teen's decomposed body on September 8th after being called to a Hollywood tow yard because of a foul odor coming from the Tesla, which was impounded after a person reported the car abandoned. Law enforcement sources say the remains were not intact, and according to the medical examiner, it appeared the girl, who is described as having wavy black hair and weighing about 71 pounds, had been dead inside the Tesla for an extended period of time. The singer David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, rose to fame on TikTok and is currently on tour.
On the 18th of September last year, 10 days after Celeste's body was found in LA, David's mansion in LA was raided, and officers were seen carrying out multiple computers. Neighbors have also confirmed that the same Tesla in which Celeste was eventually found had been parked outside David's house weeks before it was taken to the tow yard. It is possible that Celeste was already in the car during this time. We are now getting reports that forensic analysis of these computers revealed that David had stored hundreds of hours of illegal sexual content related to underage individuals.
There's a big possibility that David's phone having illegal child content on it could nail him on one of his charges. And this evidence that the prosecutors have could be exactly why they charged him with continuous SA of Celeste Rivas Hernandez under 14 years old. As you can see in David's charges, count 2 is continuous SA of Celeste Rivas Hernandez under the age of 14. This is really specific. It says David Anthony Burke, who did unlawfully engage in 3 or more acts of this SA. Then it says 3 or more lewd acts with Celeste are a child under the age of 14 while the defendant resided with and had reoccurring access to the child. And people were wondering, well, why wasn't he charged for having this illegal content on his phone? Because it can be a federal offense. But in my opinion, I am pretty sure that whatever content he had on his phone, Celeste is on this illegal child content.
However,
for death.
Because mind you, at the age of under 14 years old, there is no consent laws at all. So that cannot be an argument in court that she wanted to be in this relationship or anything like that. You cannot argue that. It does not matter. If this turns out to be the case, this is going to be huge because on that charge, this could be a slam dunk for the prosecution. What's even crazier, mind you, they're trying to tie in the fact that he was allegedly in this relationship with Celeste into the murder charge by a special circumstance. That of course would still need some evidence, but if you can prove one part of being in a relationship with her, oh wow. Just the count of him being with Celeste under the age of 14 carries a significant sentencing time if he is found guilty.
almost a year after Celeste's body was first found, the medical examiner has now finally released the exact cause and manner of her death. Due to the advanced stage of her decomposition, a lot of details couldn't be verified.
So I want to go through the specific
Threatening to come forward with the fact that David had been grooming and abusing her since she was 13. The prosecutors also revealed that the real reason it took them this long to file for charges was that they had over 40 terabytes of evidence to go through. There is a mountain of evidence connecting David to this murder. According to several investigative journalists, there is no way that David beats this case.
Apparently, there have been 4 months of secret grand jury proceedings. We believe that Mr. Burke is entitled at the earliest opportunity to an open preliminary hearing and the proceedings not be done in secret. So we are asking for a preliminary hearing to be set at the earliest possible date.
Thank you. So the matter will be set. Plea of not guilty has been entered on behalf of Mr. Burke. The matter will be set in Department 105. The matter.
Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman has just announced first-degree murder charges against David. Some of his other charges also include first-degree murder with special circumstances for financial gain, murdering a witness to an investigation,
assigned to Judge Charlene Almeida in Department 105 for all purposes by the judge of the supervising judge of criminal.
Given almost no discovery thus far, we've received a 3-page follow-up report, no autopsy report, and a copy of the complaint. And we would ask the people respectfully to produce discovery at the earliest opportunity.
Your Honor, as I've indicated to counsel, there's approximately 40 terabytes of discovery in this case. Moreover, in order to obtain the transcripts from a grand jury investigation, counsel has to file a motion. She knows the way the system works. I'm not able to gather those. They have to be provided after the court orders them released because it was an investigation. Second of all, if counsel plans on going to a preliminary hearing within the 10 days, it is unlikely that there will be very much discovery provided within that period, given the voluminous nature and how long it's going to take to copy onto drives. In addition to that, the coroner's report was sealed in this case in order to prevent it from hampering truthful testimony from witnesses that testified at the grand jury. So an order will also have to be obtained in order to get the coroner's department, which is now the medical examiner's department, to release those materials.
During the raid on David's LA mansion, the police even found several SD cards with videos and pictures of Celeste, along with an incinerator and a chainsaw. Allegedly, David wanted to burn the evidence, but decided to just hide the body in his Tesla, after concerns that his neighbors might report the smell.
David had purchased a burn cage, an incinerator, and it was at the house.
So that incinerator wasn't at the house before?
Well, you know, we found it at the house, but I mean, why do you have an incinerator and a chainsaw? You know, like, you don't need it at this house, and it comes with all the yard people and stuff like that. You don't do any of your own maintenance, right? But why do you have an incinerator and a chainsaw? There's evidence, you know, that was left behind, like a SD card from a camera, photos of him and Celeste together, and so this is all stuff we passed on to. And listen, I've met with the DA's office. There's been grand juries. I think that those transcripts, they said yesterday, will be released soon, and you know, so I think more of my statements will...
Actually, I'm so happy you brought up the grand jury.
Probably the worst part of the situation is that David felt zero regret for his actions and was basically snitching on himself for months after the murder. D4VD went on an interview just months after he allegedly murdered his 14-year-old girlfriend, Celeste Rivas, and started speaking in code and dropping a lot of hints about the murder. I had a girl in my life, but she tried to ruin my career, so she had to vanish. I miss her though. In one of his leaked songs about Celeste, David also said, "Nobody ever caught me, but I've spoken too soon. In the back of a police car, I forgot whatever I knew. I ain't telling nothing. Do the same if they ask you about her."
That's a real conversation that happened. And the irony of it was that person that was saying, I love you, she's not in my life anymore. So it's like, people say that the string can't be cut and the connection cannot be severed, but I feel like it can sometimes. I really wanted the listeners to feel like they're reading a book almost, and they get into a different chapter with every song, but there's also that kind of pause where they can take every song in by itself and then have this kind of visual landscape in this interlude to kind of be in my head, in my mindset, and why I wrote the project like this and how everything went, just to like keep them even more interested and connected throughout the project, for sure.
At the end of the interlude, correct me if I'm wrong here, she says, "I love you."
Mm-hmm.
You don't respond. She says, "I love you" again. It repeats itself and you don't respond. Was that done purposely?
Absolutely, because the next song after that is "This Really Love?" So it's kind of like a lead into that kind of a transition type thing, you know?
I believe the last time you were here, didn't you say you never experienced love or hadn't been in love? You didn't?
Yeah, I wasn't in a relationship then. Nah.
David's parents have also refused to help him out and are not going to testify in the upcoming trial. Shortly before his arrest, David transferred 2 homes into his mother's name. They claim that David is innocent, but at the same time, they're not going to get themselves involved in any way. In a statement shared with Rolling Stone, a lawyer for Dawood and Colleen Burke said the parents are standing behind their son as he sits in a Los Angeles jail awaiting a charging decision. The parents are sad and disappointed that David was arrested. However, they fully stand behind him and believe that he is innocent. Family lawyer Kent A. Schaffer told Rolling Stone. They fully support him. The lawyer said the parents learned of the arrest while awaiting a court decision in Texas over their fight against grand jury subpoenas, seeking to compel their testimony in Los Angeles.
It is now being reported that David's family is refusing to appear before the grand jury in the Celeste Rivas case. TMZ obtained new legal documents in which David's family is claiming that a court order calling them to testify in California violates their due process rights. These are David's parents, Colleen and Dawood Burke. He also has a brother named Caleb Burke, and they all live in Texas. The family claims that the court process was not fair and that they were only shown censored documents explaining why they were called to testify. So David's family believes that they were not given the full information and that part of the paperwork was hidden from them.
Dangerous jails in the U.S. These are his conditions in the jail. He is being held in a segregated jail cell and escorted to the showers every other day he received. Pedophiles don't last long in jail, and David knows this. If the inmates catch him alone, he's not going to survive.
A week ago, David was staying in a $15,000 a month rental in Hollywood, and according to law enforcement sources, now he's being held in a segregated single jail cell with some pretty strict rules. He is not on suicide watch. He gets escorted from his jail cell to shower, which he gets to do every other day, and he's only allowed to make phone calls on those shower days. He gets some recreation time, but only 3 hours a week, and he has no contact with the other.
He is only allowed to make phone calls on days that he showers. He gets 3 hours of recreation time with fresh air per week, but he gets no TV access. He gets no contact with visitors or other inmates during assigned recreation time. Allegedly, David not being allowed any contact with other inmates is due to threats
inmates during that rec time. He does not have access to a TV, he can't have any visitors right now, and he currently has no money on his books, so he can't buy any extras and has to rely on the bare minimum.
Idea of just how much David's life is in danger. There was recently a bomb threat in the court that he's being tried in. One tweet about the situation read, "What a complete circus this turned into." They're in the middle of the first court appearance for singer D4VD, who's now officially hit with first-degree murder for killing 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, mutilating her body, and allegedly doing it because she was a witness. And suddenly, a bomb threat gets called in. Everyone gets yanked out, bomb squad and dogs sweep the place. Total panic outside the LA County Courthouse. And then they give the all clear with no device found. This case is already beyond disturbing, with the death penalty on the table in California. And now this nonsense on top of it? The evil and chaos in this world just keeps piling up. Sickening.
What happened?
Right now we're just investigating a possible bomb.
Does it have anything to do with anything going on today, like the Rivas case?
We just have to check the area, make sure everything is clear, and then we'll get you guys right back in.
Perfect.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Leaving this area sterile as of now. Because I know people are wanting to come in and talk, so I'd rather address everybody and kind of go over that route. Right now I have a dog running through the building to make sure everything is good to go. Once I get the okay, I will let y'all guys back in. It'll be...
The district attorney, who is going after David, recently gave an interview where he revealed that Celeste's murder was premeditated. Celeste was a witness in the ongoing investigation regarding David's relationship with her, a minor. On that particular evening, Celeste posed a threat to David. If she would testify against him, he would lose everything. He murdered her. Celeste wasn't even the only underage individual that David was involved with. Allegedly, there were more victims.
Can you clarify something? Again, it came out today, but I just want to make sure I'm accurate. Your theory of the case is that Burke allegedly lured Celeste out to this property, that she was going to report him to the police about their relationship, and that is why he killed her? And if I'm correct, how do you intend to prove that?
So the actual details of the evidence will be presented at the preliminary hearing and later at a trial. What we charge, though, and what the complaint charges, is first-degree murder with 3 different special circumstances. The first one is lying in wait. And the allegation, as alleged in the complaint, is that Burke invited Celeste to his house the night of April 23rd, 2025, at which point he was lying in wait to murder her. The second special circumstance that was charged, and by the way, the reason you end up charging special circumstances in California is that if you have first-degree murder and you get convicted of it, it's 25 years to life.
Right.
But that allows the life sentence to be with the possibility of parole. If any one of the three special circumstances is found beyond a reasonable doubt by the jury, that then creates a life without the possibility of parole sentence, or if we so choose to seek it, the death penalty.
You mentioned cooperating and non-cooperating witnesses. I will tell you, people will look at this and say, okay, if the allegations are true, how on earth could David, this singer, kill this girl, dismember her body, leave it in a Tesla all by himself? There are those who say there's no way that he could have done this by himself, yet he's the only one charged. Are we dealing with a circumstance where there might be others involved, but they're cooperating, and if they choose not to cooperate anymore, they may be charged? Because I was listening to the press conference today. I was wondering if there's a little bit of opening that other people might be involved here.
Well, we have an ongoing investigation in the sense that if any individuals have information about Mr. Burke or anything dealing with this particular crime, please at any time reach out to the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division or the DA's office and bring us that information.
Celeste Hernandez's family is speaking out about her relationship with David. Celeste's brother, named Matthew Rivas, told NBCLA that the family was aware of the alleged relationship between Celeste and David. Claimed that his sister vanished after going to see a movie with David in May of last year and never returned. Matthew claimed that David would frequently pick up Celeste in the same Tesla Model Y in which her remains were later discovered in. Just for a reminder, her mother came out to TMZ earlier this week and told them that her daughter had a boyfriend named David and had a tattoo on her right index finger that read shh. They also have content creators and streamers that are talking to her brother Matthew as well. In this message, he sends a lot of pictures of him and Celeste, and he also starts saying F David, and I hope he real slow. Now I want to talk a little bit more about the video that I just did a little while ago. We were talking about Celeste allegedly having this account where it shows her with a ring on her finger and a tattoo of David on one of her fingers. And somebody in my comment section posted this photo and my mouth was dropped wide open. Not only does it look similar to Celeste, you can also see a ring on the finger that looks similar to the ring that was on the picture on Discord. In this photo, it's not only the ring that caught my attention. Apparently, whoever this is has makeup on, but I really got to looking at the hair, and it's brown and red. Some of the pictures floating around of Celeste right now, you can literally see her hair is brown and red. Also, here is another one, brown with a red tint. When I got into the conversation about the ring, I showed this account that a lot of her friends saying was Celeste's burner account, basically when she ran away. See, on this account, she was tagging David a lot and he would even reshare her stories. This post really made me gasp because we see she did a story and she did a Q&A and they said, not gonna lie, David is kinda hot. And you can see her take a photo with a ring with a tattoo that says David on her finger.
From the prison threats to the court chaos to the claims that more victims could be involved, this case is no longer just about one shocking arrest. It's about what investigators believe happened behind the scenes and whether the full truth is finally starting to come out. And if even half of these allegations are proven in court, then this could become one of the most disturbing celebrity criminal cases we've seen in years. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think David's legal team has any chance of fighting this? Or is this case already too far gone?